Hi there, if you're new, I am Rita Ramonto. Welcome to my space. In this channel, I talk all things budgeting and basically trying to navigate adulthood. If that's the type of content you enjoy, please do hit that red subscribe button. In today's video, I will be sharing more about my payday routine. This is something that I do as a habit or a system that I have put in place to ensure that the plan, which is my budget, is actually executed. Remember, we said a budget is telling your money where to go, and a budget is simply just the plan. Now, in my payday routine, this is where I put the plan into action. So here's how my payday routine starts. Obviously, my debit orders will go through automatically. This is the funeral cover as well as the telecom data plan. Now, unlike most people, I don't get my salary early in the morning. You know where how to money in is zungulu zako nazo. Guys, it doesn't work like that. I usually get it around 7 p.m. This means I'd have to do my routine after work, and that is not something that I want. I want to do it sober-minded without any stress or whatsoever. Imagine I'm coming back from work being stressed by that VAT recon that didn't balance. So I usually do this 3 or 4 days after my payday. The nice thing is that my salary would last me the entire month and a few days into the next month. So I don't stress when I have to delay the routine just for a few days. One habit that helps me though is keeping my salary out of sight until I am actually ready to do this routine. So as soon as that money hits my account, I temporarily park it in one of my savings pockets. I would calculate the amount that is needed for the debit orders and leave that in the main account so that when the debit orders go through, there is money in there and a little bit for bank charges. The rest I transfer it to my savings pocket and temporarily park it there until I am in the right space to do this routine properly. I'll be honest though, sometimes I slip and spend a thing or two before I actually do the routine. But hey, that's life. Not everything is gonna be perfect. But I do always come back to the system, and the consistency is what keeps me grounded and keeps me going. When I eventually sit down and start with this routine, the first thing that I do is pay my tithe. Thereafter, I pay myself. So a portion of my savings goes into my 7 days notice account. This helps with delayed access, and honestly, this really helps me in protecting my savings, because sometimes you just lie to yourself and be like, this is actually an emergency and you want to access your savings, and at the end of the day you're just shooting yourself in the foot. So a portion of my savings goes into the 7 days notice, and there's a portion that I'm able to access anytime, because obviously should an emergency come and it's like in my 7 days notice, I won't be able to attend to it. So not everything goes into that, but most of it goes into the 7 days notice. Then I do the manual payments. So I would pay my debt, pay rent, transfer money to my parents, and everything else that needs to be paid, I would do that. Oh, and with the church contributions, I usually combine it with the tithe because it's like the same account. It doesn't make sense for me to separate the payments, unnecessary bank charges, so I usually just combine everything and send it. Now that we've covered the first part, let's move over to how I organize my money, especially the variable expenses. This is the part where I need to slow down and give every rand a job, even if the amount is small. I use 2 bank accounts, Capitec and Time Bank. I will explain in detail why I use 2 bank accounts. The main one is Capitec, and if you're a Capitec user, you know that it does allow you to create up to 4 savings pockets, and yes, I use all of them. Time Bank is where I keep my sinking funds as well as the money that I'm going to need for cash stuffing. So these savings pockets are for things that I don't need physical cash for. This is electricity, airtime, miscellaneous, and iCloud, because it doesn't deduct on the 25th, so I would temporarily keep it there. And what else? Basically everything else that I don't need cash for. It helps me stay organized, to not keep money floating in my main account and thinking that I have money, whereas it's money that already has a job. It's a bit tricky, but it actually works and it makes sense in like practical. And this is also where the sticky notes come in. For instance, if maybe in one pocket I have more than two categories that I've parked in there, I'll usually write it in my sticky notes and be able to track properly. So whenever I need to pay for that specific category, I would transfer from the savings pocket to my main account and it can go through from there. This might be small, but it's one of the best habits. I keep these categories digital because most of them are things that I use on a regular basis, so I need to have access to them anytime. For instance, airtime. If I need to buy airtime, I need to be able to access my app and do it on the spot. With miscellaneous, should something small come, I need to be able to access it anytime. Now let's be real about something very quickly. I sometimes use these savings pockets to park business money, and it's starting to get messy. It's something that I don't like, even though it might be in like a separate savings pocket, but I think it's high time that I cut it and open a business account. I think the reason why I was chilled about it is because I didn't have as many customers. Maybe I would get 2 or 3 in a month, but I want to be more intentional about my business right now, and that starts with me separating my business account from my personal expenses. And I did mention in the previous one that I don't include the money that I make from my business into my personal budget because I still want to grow my business to get to a point where I'm able to give myself a salary from that. So one of my tasks this month is to actually go and open a business account instead of using my personal account for business matters. Yeah, please hold me to it. In my next reset, please ask me if I actually did that. I am trusting you guys to hold me accountable, okay? After all that is done, I need to now get ready for the cash stuffing. So this is where the Time Bank account comes into play. I use it for my sinking funds as well as transfer the cash that I'm going to need for the cash stuffing and a portion for bank charges. The reason why I use Time Bank is I don't even know where my Capitec card is, and I am so unbothered about it. Hey, I am unbothered. I don't know how many times I've lost my card. I am tired, and Capitec is not getting another 75 rand from me for another card. Oh wow, how can I hide? So I just dodge that by using the Time Bank account. I mean, it's one transaction at the end of the day, the same amount, or basically around about the same amount that I was going to use on my Capitec card to ask for a cashback. It's more or less the same amount that I'm going to use on Time Bank to ask for cashback. I was going to send money into the Time Bank account for the sinking funds anyway. But on the reels, I am not intending on making a new card anytime soon, unless I really need it, which I doubt. So I transfer the money into my Time Bank for the cash stuffing. Once I've done all of that, I obviously go and withdraw the money and do my cash stuffing, which is a system that has really helped me in being able to track my finances and staying disciplined. So if it's something that you've always been curious about, please stay tuned. That's the core of my system. Not just the budget on paper, but the systems, the habits, the routine, and the thought process behind what helps me manage my money. Give every rand a job, separate it with intention, and build habits that help me stay consistent and disciplined without feeling restricted. I will always say this, it's not about perfection, but it's about intentionality and creating something that works for you. So my budget routine, or rather my payday routine, might not work for you, but you just need to find something that works for you, something that will suit your preference and your own needs. If this helped you or inspired you to think differently about your routine, please don't forget to like, comment, share with your friends. And if you haven't hopped onto Uloliwekapoiti, what are you waiting for? Please do hop onto Uloliwekapoiti, see to do so that we can learn and grow together. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.